Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Morgan. I am back on the channel. Today we are going to offer a little self-help video that I feel is very important to talk about, because in a world where everybody is kind of in their own bubble, in their own mind, especially in this individualistic culture that we have created. This is the truth. Like, we all feel as if we are individuals and everybody else is living in an individual life, and there's really not that, social kind of gathering that's occurring in this new gen. But when this happens, our minds tend to fall into a bubble and we become self-absorbed and really focused on ourselves. And these are the moments that we really need to say, I need to socialize. And the importance of socialization and bringing that to other people is a good thing. It's a good thing to socialize. It's a good thing to get out of your own house. It's a good thing to interact with strangers and people you don't know. And so I'm going to break a lot of taboos around this, because I am somebody that talks to really anybody. Let me just explain a little bit about myself. So I have been going out since I was 20 years old alone, into clubs and bars. I lived in Los Angeles. I went out there alone. I started doing it out there because I would have desire and a need to connect with males and to connect with other people, friends, and talk to people outside. And I didn't have buddies and close people to go out with. And I still don't. I guess I fall into that archetype of a lone wolf. I have some friends, but it's not like they're local and I could go out with them. And I always kind of struggled to have that. I never really had a friend group. I had them for periods of time, but it always kind of fell away. I wasn't really somebody that liked to conform to other groups. I kind of just liked to always be an individual. And so it hindered me in a lot of ways, but it also grew me in a lot of ways, because me recognizing this within myself had allowed me to say, okay, there's a need and a desire that I have to fulfill. And if nobody's going to help me do it, I'm going to do it, okay? I'm going to do it for me. And so I would go out and sometimes I've ended up in really sketchy situations where, like, my 20-year-old self, who is naive AF, I ended up in cars with random stranger men that I trusted, and I never even met these men. So I've had scary moments, and I also grew from those, right? And so now me, as my adult self, 24, I'm so much older. I live back in New Jersey, where going out alone is kind of, my family was like, why would you do that? And the people around you, it wasn't like I had that freedom, because it was like I grew up here and everybody follows this standard norm. But I quickly just, who gives a shit? And I started going out alone since I moved back here, because again, a girl has needs. And so I do it now. And I wanted to offer some tips and guidance on this, because I feel as if it is something that not a lot of people talk about, and especially as a woman, there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of things. I don't live my life that way because I believe in God, and so I feel like I am protected and guided wherever I go. Even through the hard, disgusting shit, I am still like, this is part of the journey. So to me, I'm like, all right, if something's gonna happen, then I'm gonna be able to face it regardless, so we're okay. But of course, be mindful, be cautious, and this brings me into one of the most important points, is using your intuition. You can use your intuition to sort out who is right and wrong for you to chat with and interact with. You don't have to, if you feel a certain way, you're not going to go in that direction. So it's like, when people act like, oh, I'm so scared to do these things, your intuition kicks in and helps you out. If you override your intuition, then I would say that leads to a lot of issues. But yeah, your intuition is really powerful and strong. It knows where to go and what to do, and it will take care of you. It wants to survive no matter what. So it's going to help you get there. But after a while, you just kind of have to let go and allow your life to just live in a surrendered state, especially when you're out in public or at a club or a bar. You don't want to be uptight and rigid and controlling. This is going to like limit you from being able to reach where you're trying to get and actually satisfy your desires and your needs. And I definitely learned that the other night. The other night I went out and I was very, very scared when I first went out. Not because I was scared to go out, but because I was doing a lot of deconstructing of my psyche and facing the truth of my existence, and I was facing the no self, right? You breaking down the self and you're facing the no self. And doing this is very crippling. It can feel like you're mad. It could feel like you're losing your mind. And so I had one of those experiences that I had a breakdown, and it was just psh. And really what it was me recognizing that beliefs that I was holding were beliefs and not really my true self. So when those beliefs got shattered, because I put on a video that was deconstructing the opposite of those beliefs. So let's just say, for example, it was I had like some new age beliefs in my mind, right? And I put on a video, it was like everything I hate about new age and what I got wrong, why I quit new age, right? And so that mirroring effect crumbled my belief system by like mirroring me, and it crumbled my belief system, and that part of me died. And I was so scared. But I remember I had the insight. I said, and I'm still here. It does not matter what I hold as my identity and my belief system, because I'm still here observing, being the self behind it. So now that I got into it a little bit more from my personal story, here's some more tips. So knowing the truth and the mindset behind going out alone and what it really entails in the mind. There is people that are out and about. They aren't living in your reality. They're living in their own reality, so they don't really know what's going on inside of you. They don't know, and they'll never know yourself. Yourself is the invisible creature that they'll never know. And so when you're going out and the mindset that you have is like you're doing it for you, like you're doing it to socialize, you're doing it to connect, like that's your truth. And that's the mindset you have to go into it with. Like, if people are thinking, oh, she's so weird for doing this, or, oh my God, like, what is wrong with her? Why is she, like, acting this way? Like, no one's really thinking this, but your mind can tell you this. Like, oh my God, I'm such a weirdo. I'm so awkward, blah, blah, blah. I can't be here. I can't talk to her. I can't say this. I can't say that. The mind will do that sometimes, the insecure parts. And so what we really need to do to override that is to recognize that that's just the mind trying to sabotage the situation. No one actually gives a fuck. I'm never going to see these people again. These people don't matter. I'm going to go home and lay in my bed and go to sleep, and I'm never going to see these people again. So it does not matter. It really doesn't matter. And that's kind of the mindset you need to go into it, because even when those moments when you see and you're observing yourself being really awkward and weird, just go on that. Like, use that. Go on that. Use that energy, because it's you coming out to the surface. So why are we gonna judge it? Because that's a part of you too. It doesn't need to be judged. It's just part of you. And so I've started to just be my truthful self, and I'm not always confident. I'm not always sexy. Definitely not. But I have those parts, and those parts come out. And when those parts come out, they're recognized. And even the other parts come out. The awkward, the insecure, the weirdo. They come out, and I use them all. I use all of this as my content for what I'm socializing, because it's truth. I use truth as my content for socialization. Okay. Facing the fear. This is number 2, is facing the fear, and then you start to get the momentum going. So you're going out, you're there, and you're like here, and you haven't talked to anyone yet, right? But you're looking cute, you're doing your thing. Look cute. You don't have to look cute. I have times where I don't look that cute. I still do it. You go out, you're looking cute, and you haven't talked to anyone yet. This is the moment where you need to start and find one person, the first person, to get it going. This is to get the momentum going. And I usually ask for guidance in this moment. I say, God, who do you want me to talk to? Or like, who should I talk to? Because I always feel that when I get there and I'm like dancing on myself, I'm chilling with myself. I say, okay, when's it time gonna come where I socialize? Who do I go up to first? And I do go up to people first because, again, like, sometimes people come up to me first and it's fine. But in the beginning of the night when you're like all awkward and like, your energy's not like everybody's gonna come up to you and like swarm to you. That could happen. Depends. But I'm talking from a state of being like awkward and scared. You get over it by going into the situation. So you just go and find somebody that you think is like cool and that they have a good vibe. Use your intuition. Oh, he's fine. Listen to your guidance. And then you go. And you talk to them and you start the introduction. And you can just begin that way. And then once you start to talk to them, I was going to go into another point, but if you begin to talk to this individual and you vibe with them, you can either stick around, or when when the conversation's done, or maybe you don't vibe, just go and part ways. And, oh, this was really nice. I'm going to go inside and get some water, or I'm going to go inside and see what's going on in there. And they'll either maybe like want to come if you're like into it, or they'll feel the energy. People are very smart. It's like, human beings don't get enough credit because we're such energetic creatures. Like, we know when we don't vibe with people. We know when they're our vibe. We know when we want to continue. We know when they're not into us anymore. And if they don't get the hint, you speak it. You speak your boundary. Oh, I'm good here. I don't want any more of you. Bye. I've said it. And they still stay around. They still try to stay around. I'm like, you're adorable. Okay, so basically, facing the fear and get that momentum going. And another point about momentum is, like, once you start to get that momentum going, you will be able to do that for the rest of the night. Like, one person leads to the next, and leads to the next, and leads to the next. It's a story playing out. And then by the end of the night, you're just able to go up to anyone. You're just flowing through the freaking place, and you're just like, oh, bah, bah, bah. And you could talk to people that hate you and that they don't like you, and it's fine. Like, there's no issue because you're just saying the truth. They don't like you, all right, that's fine. Like, I can accept that. Like, what the hell? Of course I can accept that. Why wouldn't I be able to accept that? Like, duh. I don't like myself all the time either. What? Of course. It's human nature. Okay, so step number 3. What to say, what to do, and who to talk to. Okay, so we touched on who to talk to in the first point. Listen to your intuition. If they have good energy, go for the good energy. If they have shitty energy, stay away maybe. If they're closed off, don't talk to them. Like, leave them be. Or talk to them and maybe annoy them. I don't care. Like, they might like it. Who knows? Okay, so what to say? Hey, what's going on? How are ya? How you doing tonight? If you want to stay superficial. I mean, you could say whatever the fuck you really want. But basic conversation works. This is for beginners, so basic conversation works. Hey, how are you? What's going on? Oh, you've been here before? Yeah, this place is pretty good. How do you feel about the music? Ask people how they feel about things. They want to tell you. Be like, that's a nice outfit. If you see someone, they clothes you like, hey, where'd you get it? Girls could be more social. Girl, I love your outfit so much. Where is it from? Oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're so cute. Blah, blah, blah. What's your name? Have you been here before? I'm not really like that. I can be like that, but I mean, more so I like to ask people things that are gonna help me, really. If they help me, they help me sometimes, or if I'm helping them. I like to help people, and I like when people help me, so I really tend to stay in that area. But girls, it's just like you want to connect to girls. Like, I couldn't connect to guys for a while, and then I want to connect to girls and see their opinion. So then I switch. I go to guys, I go to girls, I go to guys, I go to girls. And it depends. So what to do? You dance, you talk, you do weird shit if you're me. I don't know if people will do that. I dance and I say stuff. I go up to people and I'm just like, hey, what's going on? And I just dance and do crazy things. I'm like, and they like it. And this is going to be interesting maybe to point out. It's just like, I say the truth. I just say the truth. And you'll be so surprised. People don't care because it's just like you're so confident in your truth. I've told people like, yeah, I feel really sad and alone right now. I have no friends. That shit works. That shit works. They're like, oh, I'll be your friend. Oh, here's my number. Especially with guys. They're like, oh my God, let's change that. You know. They're like, I'm really insecure right now. I'm a weirdo. They don't care. They still are like, okay. Like, no one cares about that. No one cares. Tell them, like, the worst of the worst. I mean, I've had people not like me, of course. And people... You can always be truthful, but it doesn't always help you in the 3D realm because people can sometimes be triggered. But, again, you want to use your intuition. I've had to learn through these experiences, so... yeah, different interactions. I'm just thinking about a story time about like one time I went out, but these were people I kind of like had connection with because I was at my familial. But I remember I didn't really like this girl and her energy. I just didn't want to be around it. It didn't feel good for me. And she started to touch me and I was like, don't touch me. And she really went and had a bitch fit. She went and had a bitch fit and was like so mad that I said that to her. And she came back and started calling me like a C word and cursing me off. And like I teased her because I was in that devilish mood. I was, And what did she do? She attacked me. So she threw her drink in my face and shoved me from behind. And I turned around and I whacked her. I had to. My body just knew how to handle the situation. And I left, and me and my brother dipped, and that was it. And so those things can happen, right? You could be in situations like that, and yeah. But I wasn't alone, so that was different. That was, I was feeding off of the group energy, the ego, blah, blah. I wasn't alone, so that could be, so much story time for you. But yeah. Back to the video. So answering questions. Okay, so now number 4, I would say is a little bit more advanced, but like I'm gonna bring it to you just for an extra tip. And I'm sorry I'm bouncing around a lot from like story time to tip, but I think that could be my style and my structure. Like I tell a little part of story and I go into the tip. So the tip on number 4 would be like asking questions that bring out the greatness in you and in others. And that's what I'm saying. It's a win-win situation. We want both parties to be happy. Even the most selfish mind still wants the other to be happy because it feels good for you to make the other happy, but then it also feels good to be happy within yourself. So you want to ask questions that bring out your greatness and the other's greatness. And this is such a beautiful experience that can happen. I'm sorry if I'm selfish, guys. I'm not trying to be, but I am, and I'm a little insecure about my selfishness. Man. I'm going to do a video after this, I think, on something else that's really cool, so let me focus. Asking questions that bring out the greatness in you and others. Asking people, like, philosophy questions. How do they think about life? Ask them about, like, their belief system, about God, and different outlandish things. What are they into? That's interesting. And then don't be afraid to say your opinion about what they say. Like, if you don't like it, just be like, yeah, I don't really agree with that because, and then you could say your opinion. You could play your character. It doesn't have to be like you're this spiritual being all the time, surrendered and let go and like Zen AF. You can hit those moments through your conversation. Yeah. But you can also be animated. You could be like this. But you can also be animated. I don't really know if I feel like that is resonant for me, but for you it might work. But for me, let me tell you what I think. I think... You guys getting it? You getting it now? Okay. That's really all I have for this video. This was a little bit of a longie. It's good, though. It's good because it brought a lot of juice. And I just want to keep on bringing juice, bringing juice, bringing juice. I just want to keep on bringing juice out of my... I recently heard that you can't, like, say inappropriate stuff on YouTube and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep myself all PG a little bit more. Don't watch my shadow videos. Or watch them. All right, see you in the next one. Have a great, fabulous day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.